Hello everyone, this is Manas Tripathi here. Today we'll learn how to create a Kubernetes managed service on Azure, that is known as AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. So you search for Kubernetes service on the home page. You search for Kubernetes service and go there. Click on add a Kubernetes cluster. Then you give up existing resource group name if you have one, or else you can create one resource group. So let me give existing resource group, and then I'll have to give a name to my Kubernetes cluster. Testing AKS cluster. Okay, now you need to choose the Kubernetes version. The default version is 1.15. Then you have you can update it, like you can have 1.18. So let me or you can also choose Kubernetes version below 1.151 so I'll go with the default one. And next you have to uh, see the node size. It's a node type you have to choose, or else you can leave it default. And then you have to choose the node count. It is by default 3. That means one master, two nodes, worker nodes. I'll just make it as 2, one master, one node, as I'm creating it for testing some functionalities. And next you go to the node pools. I'll just choose I'll keep it as default agent pool, or otherwise you can create a node pool, add a node pool here. So I'll leave it default virtual nodes are disabled, or otherwise you can do a virtual node enabled, which will give you option to you know give you option to use as the container service instances. So VM scale set enabled, I can enable my node pool, like scaling my node pool. Go to authentication. I'll leave it as default service principal. Role based access control enabled. Next, networking. I'll choose basic. Here when you choose basic, it will create an VNet for a cluster with default values. On choosing advanced, you can choose the subnet. You can choose your subnet ranges, IP ranges. So you can choose that if you want to have like in general scenario, in production scenario we do that. So I'll leave it as basic. Private cluster as disabled. Network policy is none because it is choose as network policy configuration as basic. In advanced you can choose the network policy. So next, go to integrations. We'll leave as it is. Tag, you can give a tag. You can define a value and define a variable and give a name to it, value to it. So leave it as it is. It will review our config. So it's just doing the final validation. So the validation is passed now. So we'll just click on create to create one. So you can see your status over here. It is initializing deployment. It will take around 10 minutes to get it created. Within 10 minutes you will have your cluster ready. So you can see the deployment stats over here. You can see our deployment is in progress. My deployment is complete now. So let's see our Kubernetes cluster. We'll access the Kubernetes cluster now. Just go to here, Cloud Cell. So we are on a power cell. So let's you can choose PowerShell or Bash here. So I have already chosen PowerShell earlier, so it is taking it by default. Now we'll just get the credentials of this installation. For that, we'll just do Azure AKS get credentials. So we'll just give Azure AKS get credentials, then give our resource group name. We'll just go here and see. This is our just paste it over here. Okay. And then we'll have to give our cluster name, and let's see the cluster name. What is our cluster name? It was just a second. Testing AKS cluster. We'll just copy this. We'll have to paste it over here. So you can see that merge testing AKS cluster has current context in home minus kubectl. So let's do a kubectl get nodes. So here it is. Your AKS cluster is now ready. That's it for today's video. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe my channel for more such videos. Thank you.